back.
The boys are back in town.
After a short, unannounced hiatus.
We should just have Thin Lizzy be our title track, our intro music. Boys are back in town.
I'm all about it, man. I love some of the Gary Moore era Thin Lizzy. Some of the guitar work is just... And I'm not a fan of Gary Moore's solo stuff.
Okay.
But with Thin Lizzy, I'm there for it.
You're here for it. You're here for it.
Yeah.
All right. Nice. Yeah, apologize about the break, everyone. Here we were a couple weeks ago talking about, like, we're going to be more consistent. We're going to do it. And then we weren't. And there's good reason for that. Zach is expanding Mythos Pedals to become a pedal empire. He's going to be number one pedal company in the entire world.
Oh.
Yep.
I'll be the number one pedal company in Nashville.
Yeah. And I am taking over. I'm gunning for Max Martin's spot as most successful pop producer of all time by building a studio in my basement. So that's what we spent the last couple weeks doing.
Fun. I don't even know who that is.
Max Martin is basically the man behind almost every major pop act of the last 20 plus years.
Okay.
Yeah, he's, been involved in just about anything and everything you can think of in the top 100 Billboard charts. Both. Actually, his stuff's pretty good, I have to say. As pop productions go, usually the Max Martin stuff is pretty sick.
VT Jumper in the chat said, I heard pot producer, which, if I'm being honest, I thought I did too.
That's what I said. Pot producer. The number one pot producer. Yeah, I'm just, this by studio, I hope everyone, there was no confusion here. By studio, I meant like I'm building a grow up in my basement. That's what I was talking about. So is that not what you thought I was saying, or?
Well, you said you had a workshop. There's going to be,
I got lights, I got ventilation. I got, I don't know, what else do you need to grow weed? Lights. I said
water.
Lights. I think, isn't it really hard? Isn't cannabis like actually really difficult to grow properly?
I don't know. I'd have to talk to my dad. He knows way more about it than me because he went to college in the 70s. So, yeah. Funny story. I don't think I've ever told this story, and I'll leave names out of it. But I met the mom of a drummer from a band I was in when I was end of high school.
Yeah.
And so we were all around the same age, and our parents were all around the same age. And went over to his house and met his mom. And she's like, wait, Broyles, is your dad's name blank? And I said, yeah. And she's like, oh, I knew him in college. He had the best weed. It's like, great.
Sweet.
That's awesome. Cool dad. Thanks.
That's so funny because that is the total antithesis of my dad in every single way. It's so funny.
Is he a square?
In that respect, yeah, he's pretty square.
Okay.
Yeah.
My dad is, he swears that Animal House was written about his fraternity.
Oh my God. Sounds problematic now.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It was and sometimes still is, but he's a good guy.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So anyway, yeah, I'm building a grow up in my basement. Trying to hide it from the government. So if anybody has a way to keep my electrical bills low, my electrical consumption. This joke's gone too far.
Yeah. People might start thinking you're serious. So tell us about the studio build. Tell us, because I've caught snippets of it, but not the full.
Yeah, well, nobody's caught the full thing yet because I've intentionally kind of kept it under wraps because we are doing a studio build series on the channel. I think it's going to be about 6 parts in total, 6 episodes. And it won't start airing until we're getting close to being done with the studio, which my goal is to have, so my birthday's on March 1st, and I want to have a party down there in the studio and have it up and running, ready to go, making sounds by March 1st. So it's gone very, very well though. So our studio designer and builder, Jimmy Bird, came out from San Diego, spent 2 weeks out here. And we were literally down there every single day except one. We had 1 day off in 2 weeks, swinging hammers, hanging drywall. I learned so much. I learned how to frame walls. I learned how to run a miter saw. I learned how to do basic drywall stuff, which sucks.
Told you.
Dude, it sucks. And I'm bad at it too. We're all bad at it. We're bad at mudding. We're bad at getting stuff aligned. So what I'm going to do for the drywall is, because everything is double or triple layers of drywall. So the drywall we're doing now is not the drywall you're going to end up seeing. So for that last finished layer of drywall, I'm going to hire a crew to come in who can like mud it properly and make it look nice, you know?
Right.
But it's taking shape, man. The control room's framed up. We've got the vocal booth and the lounge part of the control room basically done. Now we just need a bunch of mechanicals done. So I need HVAC moved and rerouted. Just had our hot water heater moved and rerouted. And then we're going to have electrical come and do electricity and, 20 amp circuits everywhere and the whole deal. So yeah, it's going to be a great space once it's done. And we decided, we'd been kind of going back and forth on which way to go in terms of buying a console or doing a hybrid setup. And my intention was to wait on that decision, like keep kind of pushing it further down the road. But we were running into this situation where when framing, it kept coming up like, okay, well, if we're going to have a console, we need to frame this way because we're going to need to, power and cabling and patch bays and all that stuff. Or if you're doing a hybrid system, we're going to need to frame this way. And we kept coming up against that. And I just decided, okay, it's time to make the decision. So I made some phone calls. I talked to some people in the know, some people who I really respect, who've owned and run studios for years, who own consoles, vintage consoles. And I just asked around. And the general consensus of, what I'm looking to do down there and what everyone said was, yeah, you should buy a console. And so the hunt begins for a desk.
So is that going to be a thing where, like, because I hadn't even thought about this until just now, like you have to make considerations for how to get the damn thing in there? Because
yeah. So we're framing doors wide enough to get the console in and out. And it's even impacting our HVAC plan. So we had the HVAC guy come down, and consoles generate a lot of heat. So the control room is going to get its own small, like mini split air conditioning system that's just for the control room, because the whole thing is like a room within a room. It's totally isolated, heavily insulated. So even in the middle of winter, that room, and because it's in a basement, it's all below grade, that room is going to get really, really hot because of all the equipment in there. So yeah, it's going to have its own AC system. And, the whole deal.
That's crazy. That's exciting. I can't wait to, hopefully I'm invited. I can come see it.
We'll see.
Yeah, I know. It depends on how I behave.
Everyone's going to be invited. I was on Destiny with Matthew last night, invited him, trying to get DF to come down, get the whole Novo crew to come down.
Oh man, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I've been doing some projects for Dennis that I can't talk about, which is very exciting.
I know about this stuff.
But in other Mythos news, I'm renting another office. So
what? I didn't know about this.
Yeah. So the initial plan for this new shop, right, was the room I'm in right now, which you can't really see much in the live stream, but on the actual episode, you'll be able to see. It's the same room I've been in for the past couple weeks. Is this mini office, which I think was just like a closet for whatever this room initially was. But when they were first talking about getting the space, they were going to tear this room out and expand the warehouse space. And then there was an office up the hall from what is our production room that was going to be my office. But since this and some of the workshop wasn't torn out, the square footage worked out to be about the same. So I didn't bother renting that space. But now, since things have gotten crazier, we got two guys, pretty much every available wall is taken up by something. I kind of want to turn this into storage or maybe like a pickup room or, like do something else with the space, because it's kind of cramped. And I want to have a bigger office where I can have space for videos, space for working on pedals and like doing pickups and having some stuff around and turn that into like a mini showroom just for me. So if people come to town, they don't have to go into the big room and worry about that. They can just come in and hang out with me and check stuff out and make like half video space, office, and lounge. That's three things. So third, not
nice.
half. But yeah, so that's it's mine. So we struck a deal, and I'm going to be moving in there. We just have to paint and clean the carpet because it's gross.
Is this the same? It's part of the same thing where like the people that were there before you were like some geological service and there's dirt everywhere.
Yeah. There was the just mud and rock and gross. So the one thing about this room, and I don't know if I've moaned about it yet, but it's super noisy in here.
Uh-huh.
And I figured out what it is there's all the security system stuff is like on just right through the wall, and it's just drywall, and it's all in the same circuit. And so I get this crazy noise in all my equipment. And every time I'm testing a pedal, I'm like, this thing sounds broken. What is going on? And then I take it to another room and it's fine. It's just because there's all sorts of interference just like in the air and coming through the power. So it's going to be nice to hear it, like, hear pedals how they're supposed to sound. So
my God.
Yeah.
Well, so this will be an era of Mythos pedals where they all sound a little different and a little weird. It'll be the security system era.
Yeah.
So if you have like a Wildwood Mule and you compare it to an older one, and you're like, this one sounds different. It's because the interference.
Well, there's the interference era. There's the smoke smell knobs. There's the bodge wire. Oh, people are talking about, shout out to our Discord chat and all our lovely patrons. Thank you for sticking around with us, guys, while we're getting shit in order. But yeah, my lovely vents and ugly ass ceiling tiles. Yeah. So the new office has like fadeable lights and all sorts of things. It's going to be much
look
nicer.
At you.
I know.
Yeah.
Right?
Man, that's awesome. That's one of the things we're doing in the studio is I'm having outlets and stuff installed on the ceiling so that I can have just lights mounted in the ceiling. It's an idea I stole from the JHS show set at their headquarters. Like Addison over there did an incredible job of like wiring everything so their lights are just mounted and powered from the ceiling and everything's up there out of the way. It's like, oh, so I took pictures when I was there in March. I was like, okay, I got to get all this done. So it's going to be sweet.
Great. Well, that's exciting. It's exciting for everybody. We're having a good time. and then you're going to Germany in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2.5 weeks. We're going to Germany, going to Hamburg to play on a record for my friend Thijs. Roofman is his artist name. He's from the Netherlands. Thijs and Sarah, very good friends of ours. Yeah, it's gonna be cool, man. It's like so apparently last year during the pandemic, Thijs is really cool. His family owns a campground called Inderimbo in a town called Ermelo in the Netherlands. And it's amazing. So when we went on tour with Noah Guthrie and Good Trouble in the Netherlands a few years ago, we basically just stayed in the campground in these cottages the whole time. So Phil, the bass player, and I had our own cottage. Noah and Ian and his dad had their own cottage. And it was like, honestly, it was like being on vacation. We were there in December. You're in the middle of the Dutch forest. It was peaceful. It was beautiful. And because the Netherlands is basically the size of like South Carolina, every gig we would do was just like an out and back thing. So we were on tour, but we got to stay in the same place for 10 or 11 days. It was amazing. So anyway, awesome. Thijs is an amazing artist, amazing songwriter. And during the pandemic, he was like, they were just working on the campground and he wrote, I think like 75 or 80 songs. He basically wrote and recorded 3 albums himself in his cottage there. And that led to him, I think, landing a record deal. And we're going to, Phil and I are going to Hamburg to Clouds Hill Recording. Going to spend 2.5-3 weeks there with a producer, tracking everything to tape in the room, live tracking. No Pro Tools, none of that. We're doing everything the old school way. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm super stoked about it.
That's awesome. Sounds like a good time. And you know what? I think you should take this.
Is it done?
Actually, yeah. I modded it. The guys filmed me modding it. And
wait, how do you know which one's modded?
The LEDs are different color. And they're actually slightly different greens. Yeah. Can you see that?
Right.
So and this.
Well, there you go. Yep.
And it's funny. It's like I modded it. Wait, let's save this for the episode.
Okay. All right.
Because I had a moment where I was like, huh. And then I went, oh, okay. And that's the end of my story. That's
very vague. It's very vague and hard to follow and enticing. So good job.
It's going to make so much sense. But yeah, we just filmed it on my phone. So, we'll see. It'll be fine. It'll be great.
All right.
4K.
I can't wait to fly it all the way over to Germany and pull it out and put it in the session and be like, oh, it still sounds like a tube screamer. I hate it.
Well,
Might leave it there.
That was my no. And that was the question that the guys and I had. It's like, how far do we take this? Do I make it not be a tube screamer at all? But then that kind of defeats the point. So I did some things. We'll talk about it. It's going to be fun. And I honestly keep forgetting to mail them to you, but you're leaving anyway, so there's probably not much point in me sending them right now.
No, you will send one to me and I will take it. I'll play it on the session.
Okay,
send
cool,
the modded one. I don't want the regular one. I want the tube screamer. I want the whatever your special sauce is.
Okay. Yeah. It's this one. All right. Well, do you want to dip a rig?
Hell yeah, man. Let's do it.
Oh, so
good God.
I had forgotten about dipping a rig, if I'm honest, and had to go to the email. And this was the first one I saw, but you know what? It's not, caveat, I don't think this is super giggable, but it's too good not to talk about.
One thing I should point out here, I think the Patreon chat's getting blitzed right now with the drinking game. People are like talking about alcohol poisoning and every other comment's like drink.
Wait, what?
Drink every time Rhett says amazing.
No, that's too much.
No, you can't. Hold on. Where's I Play Bass? We need the updated drinking game list in here because you haven't talked about Carter Vintage yet.
I haven't.
We haven't talked in a Southern accent yet. So they must have added stuff to the drinking game that we don't know about. And they're all just getting smashed at 3:30 on a
Wednesday. Yeah. So yeah, it does the thing. Has not been said.
No.
What else?
Is I Hate
It's
Tube
fine.
Screamers a thing? It's fine.
I say it's fine. Talking about PV.
Yeah.
We haven't done. I mean, these don't count.
What do you,
so.
All right. Well, maybe they're just getting hammered. Maybe it's just not part of the drinking game, and they're just out here having a good time.
Just middle of the week,
No judgment. Like it could be 10 a.m. where you are. If you want to get blitzed, by all means. This is a judgment-free podcast.
Well, we're gonna judge this photo of this rig
as we go straight into judging somebody's rig.
So here it is. Did you see it?
Yeah, that's okay. This is cool.
So, there's a lot here. Lots of
yeah. Giggable is questionable here.
I mean, you could play any of this stuff at a gig, but this is not your if this is your rig. Okay, so hold on. This is Brandon TEH. So Te.
Brandon Te
is the last name. I assume who knows.
Right.
But we'll say
he probably knows. He probably knows how to say.
Well, yeah, he does. So I share a practice space with another band. Oh, okay. He's clarifying. So the full stack on the left is not mine, though I wish it was. For context, I play in a pop punk band, so my tone is pretty mid to high gain. His rig is a Laney Ironheart 120, two Marshall JCM cabs. His pedals are a Boss Tuner, Keeley compressor, a Walrus EB10, a Plumes, a Phase 95, a Decimator 2, a Walrus Julia, Rainbow Machine, Superpuss, Dispatch Master. That's a lot of pedals for a pop punk.
I was going to say, and a lot of modulation for a pop punk band too.
Yeah. A Mexican Fender Strat that is Billy Joe Armstrongified.
Yeah,
a Roan Ward 50s Telly that's Danish Pete Purple. An Epiphone Jared James Nichols Les Paul Custom, Squire Supersonic, and a Les Paul Tribute. So we got there's a lot of stuff in this.
All right, yeah. And speaking of Jared James Nichols, shout out to a speedy recovery for Jared. I don't know exactly. He said he was lifting a case and broke his arm.
Yeah.
Oof. Man.
Yeah. But he's a big tough son of a bitch, so I'm sure he'll come back real quick.
He's a Viking. If you've never met Jared James Nichols, I'm 6'3" and I look up at him. He's a big dude. He's a big dude.
Sweet as can be.
Oh yeah, the nicest guy ever. So yeah, speedy recovery to Jared. I love his Epiphone, that Blues Power single P90 Epiphone.
Super cool.
It's badass. Yeah.
So
all right, starting with the guitars here. You want to start there?
Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. So
the aforementioned Jared James Nichols Blues Power Epiphone single pickup P90. Love it.
Is that the Old Glory, I guess?
Old Glory. Now they've got Gold Glory, which is super cool. I can't decide which one I like better.
I like the gold. I'm into the gold.
I'm into the gold too, but the black on black is just with the dog ear P90. It's classic. That's a classic look. I I think I'd have to go with the black.
I love that it's just, it's a Duncan. I think it's an antiquity in those stock.
I think so, yeah.
Which is great. Volume tone, no frills, no fuss.
Yep.
I mean, he makes it work. No problem.
Yeah, you could say that he makes it work. Another bit of an understatement there.
Yeah.
So and then we got the Danish Pete purple. Was that a 50s road worn, you said?
It's a road worn. So I think that was a Guitar Center exclusive. Or maybe it was the Chicago Music Exchange. I don't know. They were limited run, and every time I see them, I go, damn, I need a purple telly.
Yeah, that's like a Barney purple though. It's not quite Danish Pete purple. And then is that a hot rail on the bridge there?
Oh,
if I zoom in, that doesn't look like a normal telly pickup to me. So
it looks like a Duncan of some sort, either a hot rail or JB or something.
right. The Strat, I love it. All the stickers and everything on here, the BLM on the pick guard, I'm here for it, man. And then modded to just a single volume and the switch. Like, I'm trying to look at some of these pictures. Nice.
Yeah,
Supreme.
maybe. I mean, I assume it's just a volume knob and then all the pickups still work, but maybe not.
Yeah,
that middle pickup looks very low into the pick guard.
I think that's probably just to get it out of the way.
Yeah, that's what you do. It's the Richie Blackmore method. You just drop it down. You don't even use it.
Yeah, I think this is probably, that could be a single pickup Strat, just a bridge pickup Strat,
Yeah, maybe. And it uses the switch as like a kill switch would be kind of cool.
Yeah, that'd be badass. Gold Top Les Paul Studio.
It's a tribute. So it's
a tribute.
It's kind of like a studio. I think they're a little even more stripped back than the studios.
Cool. Yeah.
But, straight ahead, it's a Les Paul, without binding, basically.
And then what your favorite guitar that I can't stand, the Squire Supersonic. God, I just don't get those guitars. And
it's got the Bart Simpson, where he's like a raven or something. I think it's from one of the Treehouse of Horror. I still want one. I just why? I don't want it. I don't know. It's just one of those things. I saw them when I started playing guitar, and then at the drive-in, Omar played one, and it was one of those guitars that I kept seeing when I was impressionable, and I just like it. I think it looks cool. I do think it's a cool looking guitar. So
God, I wish I could never see it again. My God. I think I'm going to put that in the running as like one of the worst looking guitars. Looking mass produced guitars. Cause anybody could hack up a guitar but like worst, like just stock off the factory floor, worst looking guitar. That's top 10 for me for sure.
I totally disagree. I think it's great. So.
Okay, cool. All right, so I guess we shouldn't take a look at the amp on the left because it's not his. So we'll go to the stack on the right. The Laney Ironheart. Never played one of those.
No, I've honestly never played many Laneys. Period. So I'll look it up.
The only Laney I've really spent time with is Rick's Laney Clip, which I believe is a 69, 70.
Mm-hmm. It's got that distortion circuit or whatever booster built in.
Yeah, it's badass. It's really cool. Good. It's really good. This one has a lot of knobs. Looks like, what is this, 2 channels here?
I'm trying to find a write-up about it.
I'll just read off some of the knobs here. Pre-boost, clean volume, lead gain, rhythm gain, 3-band EQ for both channels, lead volume, rhythm volume. So it looks like you got a lead channel, a rhythm channel. Channel switching, that's cool. I get it. If you just look at it from like one channel at a time, it's not that bad. You got a input gain and then output master volume with a 3-band EQ. But then there's some stuff on the side here. Reverb, tone, dynamics, and watts. What does this have a compressor built into it?
No, trying to see. Let's see. Oh my God. Reverb. Why would it take me there? Digital reverb, really useful watts feature, dial the output of the amplifier. So that's some sort of master. Dynamics is allows you to vary the interaction of the amplifier and the drivers, depending on the volume you're playing.
The speakers? Wait.
Maybe it's some like a sag sort of control, or
that's weird. The Hold on. Say that again.
Well, what this write-up says is the master section features an overall dynamics control, which allows you to vary the interaction of the amplifier and the drivers. So the speaker, I guess, depending on the volume you are playing at. And then it has a master tone and then the digital reverb. Yeah, it's interesting. And I'm sure it's just like a rock and roll machine. You know?
Oh yeah, for sure. It looks as though it would sound like just pure rock and roll. The dynamics control is interesting to me. I've never seen something like that before. And my gut says like, oh, there's like an 1176 in there or something, which would be weird to have that in your amp. Maybe not, depending on where it is in the circuit, but interesting.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. All right. And then the pedal board. So interesting pedal board layout, a lot of stuff, a lot of modulation, you know, that I wouldn't expect from a pop punk band player, but maybe they've got some cool like bridges or middle eights or something like that use some stuff, you know?
It's been a long time since, like, every now and again at the shop, we'll bust out some, you know, the shit we listened to in high school, you know, part of the day. But, you know, for pop punk for me, it was all Blink-182 and then that era stuff like Sum 41, crap like that. So yeah,
right.
It's the new age pop punk, which is, I don't know.
Let me tell you something. Tilly and I at Music Midtown a few years ago, we were there and Fall Out Boy was playing. They were one of the headliners. And we went there to see a friend's band and they had just played. And so we were like, all right, well, we'll head out and beat the crowd. But we'll stop by Fall Out Boy on the way out. Just, you know, we want to hear, you know, what is this? Sugar We're Going Down. We stayed for the whole show and it's one of the best shows I've ever seen in my life. They kill live. They are so good. It's unbelievable. And they're one of those bands that they have way more hits than you realize. If you're, I mean, I'm not like a huge Fall Out Boy fan, but 6 or 7 times during the night, they'd start a song and be like, oh God, yeah, that song.
I remember that song.
I remember that. So this song's huge, you know? It was great. I would absolutely go see Fall Out Boy again if they ever come through Atlanta. It was a lot of fun. Yeah,
man. I went to Warped Tour in high school and I'm just looking up some of the bands 2000 pop punk on Google. Newfound Glory, Simple Plan, Saves the Day.
Dude, I have a pop stuff. I have a pop punk powerhouses playlist on Spotify. Somebody made this. It has 2 million likes. It's 50 songs. It's Green Day, Jimmy Eat World, Blink-182, The Ataris, Lit. You remember Lit? My God.
Oh, dude, I won a shoe from Lit on a contest, and then I went to the show. I wrote them a letter saying, I'm going to come to your show in Nashville, and I'm going to bring the shoe and hold it up. And they sent me back a signed picture, and then I went there and held up the shoe, and they all pointed at me from the stage, and it was very exciting.
A shoe? Like one shoe?
It was one Airwalk that was one of the members of the band's Airwalk sneaker that they all signed around the sole. And I was 16 or 15 and was beside myself. I was so excited. I loved Lit. So yeah.
Sum 41, The Offspring, Jimmy Eat World, Rise Against, All American Rejects, Taking Back Sunday, Yellow Card, My Chemical Romance. Dude, this playlist right here is
it's of a time.
It's of a time. And it's fun, man.
Your name here calls it mall punk.
Yeah, mall punk. That's a great way of describing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hot topic mall punk.
That's it. Dude. It was of a time. But yeah, on the pedal board, I mean, let's not, I don't know if there's much to unpack because it's like, it's something that I don't understand, like why you'd have a rainbow machine for a pop punk band, but it would be really cool. So I think it would all work. You know, he's making wacky ass noises.
Wacky ass noises. Oh my God. All right. So here's the deal. Scroll back up here. I was looking at the chat. So I really love the Strat, and I love the Jared James Nichols, Les Paul, the Laney. I'd want to hear it because I've never heard one, and I'm really intrigued by that dynamics control. But this is one of those amps that you can probably hear it just by looking at it. You can probably tell, like, yeah, okay, I get it. Yeah. And the 2 JCM cabs, pretty cool. Is that the classic Altoids 10 on the pedal board there? Yeah,
looks like it. Yeah, you put your weed in there, man.
Yeah, or maybe he's also a church player too, because it's like a church thing, I think.
Well, you can still put your weed in there.
In fact, most of the dudes I played with in church did, you know?
Hey.
Sorry, I'm going to call some people out there, but you know, whatever. All right, here's the deal. I like this rig, but you're getting deducted points for the supersonic. I just have to say, it's not. No, you could have just left that out of the picture, and I would have given you a little bit higher score. But I'm going to give this 7.8 Shoyles.
I'm going to give it 8.2 for Blink 182.
Hey, look out.
I think it's fun. I think I would hate to move it, but if you know, I was just going to play it. I mean, I would take a half stack. I don't think I'd need to take a full damn stack, but
full damn stack.
A full damn stack.
No, here's what you do. You just
great.
you pull the speakers out of the top cab, out of the snack cab, and then you just make it a dummy, and then you put your merch and everything in that cabinet. And then you load in, unload your merch and all your shit, and then you have a full stack on stage. But really, you're just pushing the bottom speaker cab, mic that up, good to go.
Yeah, could you like hinge, like take the back off and hinge it so it's like just like a rolling cabinet. Put shelves in there.
Yeah, because you don't want to carry
cool.
just like you don't want to carry like an empty cabinet because that's such a huge waste of space in the trailer.
Right.
So make it useful. You know, make it like a road case, and then you walk in, and you know. All the guitar bros in your audience are like, oh, he's playing a full stack. That's so sick.
Do you think it'd be heavier a cabinet with just 4 speakers or a cabinet full of like sweatshirts?
Oh my God, the sweatshirts for sure, I think.
Just like stacked up. Mm-hmm. Man. Okay. Well, cool. Well, that
full
was fun.
Of merch. Yeah. Maybe not sweatshirts though, because sweatshirts actually they take up more space. They're lofty, right?
Yeah.
But if it was full of t-shirts and like vinyl records, for sure. You get a case of vinyl records in there, it's for sure going to weigh more than a speaker cab.
Yeah. So what are we going to talk about?
Oh my God. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I got something that I don't think I've really spoken to you about this, and it's just something that's been on my mind for the past couple of weeks.
Is this like you need to speak to me about something? Like this,
no.
That's what this sounds like. You know what? We haven't talked about this.
No.
I was going to do this offline, but I feel like this confrontation needs to happen publicly.
No. I've been bit by the gas bug, and I've been bit hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I've fallen back in love with my DGT.
Oh my God. Dude, you texted me last week. Last week you said, hold on. Before you explain yourself, we need to put this into context because last week I got a text. Hey dude, actually I'm going to read it. Let me pull it up because people need to know.
That's how little we've talked over the past.
Yeah. Well,
you can immediately scroll to it.
The speed at which you went back to it. No, we've had a, because look, we should also talk about this too. Side note here, put a pin in this, but a John Mayer Black One Strat, $7,000. They're asking for that. Come on, maybe they're going for that now. I
don't know.
Here's what you said last Wednesday, a week ago. I may get a new PRS, so if you want mine, let me know. No pressure. I'm just scheming. I was like, oh, sick. Maybe I will buy that DGT from you. And now you're saying you've fallen back in love with it.
No. Okay. Because I've fallen in love with it, it's reignited the flame of me wanting to get a PRS special semi-hollow, special 22 semi-hollow, the like production Super Eagle.
Right.
So if you don't know what I'm talking about, that.
Yeah.
And I want one really bad, but this might be, maybe this is what we should touch on. The wait list or the wait time for these guitars right now from PRS is, I know a shop in North Carolina, Midwood Guitars, great shop. They ordered them when they were announced in January, and they're not getting them until like June of next year.
Oh, dude, so that's worse than Novo's wait list right now.
Yeah. It's crazy. So some of them are out in the world, but they're like the same price as a new one.
Okay.
Approximately. So like the question is, do I hit up Midwood and say, yo, I want one of these. Here's what finish. They can adjust their order because, obviously they're not painted yet. And get me one.
So,
or I just try to find one and buy one. But that's why I was thinking about selling the DGT, because like it's a lot of guitar. It's a lot of money. And it's hard for me to justify having two relatively similar guitars. I mean, they're different. They're different. And I know that.
Pretty different.
But I feel like if I had that.
Hold on. This is the one that because I didn't see the picture because we're doing this in real time. And I'm not super up on my PRSs. So are you talking about the one that is fully hollow?
No,
and has
it has one F hole. I will post a link to the Sweetwater in the chat.
Because they sent one to Rick that he had, or maybe he still has, I don't know. And I played it, but the one they sent him was fully hollow. Well,
they're doing new SEs that are full hollow, and apparently they're great.
Okay.
Jacob, the visual guy on YouTube, does a lot of great pickup demos. He has one.
Okay. No, yeah, the production Super Eagle. Now I see it.
Yeah, that thing.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
I know. And it's like,
you want to just go full mayor and buy the JMod 100 while you're at it and get your
well, I have a 2-rock. I don't think I have to. I don't want to get too redundant with my God. I wonder why people call me pretentious. But
well, no. So the 2-rock is for like my Continuum era mayor tones, and then the J mod or J Rod or whatever. Is it J mod or J Rod?
J Rod. What's up, J Rod?
What's up, J Rod? Hey. Hey, J Rod, we just got a new shipment of Blink 182 records in the back. I need you to go unpack those. All right, J Rod?
Fuck you, Dad.
He's cool. He's just a kid. He's grown up. He's testing his boundaries. He's cool. J Rod's a cool kid.
It's J Rod. Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Would J Rod's name be Jared or Jason?
No, it'd be like, it'd have to be something more like a Justin, I think.
Oh yeah, Justin could work, but I feel
Justin
like
Justin Roderick.
Justin. God. Oh, it's so good.
Oh man.
What were we talking about?
We're talking
John
about
Mayer?
should I get a J mod? But like, and I don't even want it because of John Mayer. I just want it because I think it looks cool and I bet it sounds great.
All right, so here's the deal. I've played a Super Eagle. A friend of mine has one, and I've been critical of PRSs in the past for being sort of soulless and not having, at least from my subjective experience, not really having a vibe so much.
Yeah.
They're pretty like kind of a clean slate instrument, if you will. That one though, the Super Eagle had vibe for days. It was resonant. It was warm. It sounded great. It sounded great unplugged. Every time I think, because a couple times a year I think like, oh, I think I want a PRS. I think I want like a custom 24, or I want, and I have my CE22,
right?
But like a proper quote unquote through neck PRS. And then I go play one at Righteous because they have hundreds of them. I'm just like, I don't know.
It's funny. I feel like PRS is one of those companies that continually push themselves to do better.
They're incredibly well-made guitars.
Yeah, and I think that like, and this is the consensus I've heard from a lot of people who sell them. It's like the newer ones are just so much more alive than the older ones, and I think a lot of that has to do with their nitro now.
Mm-hmm.
But it's funny that just like anything, you find one that speaks to you. That the DGT that I have here at the shop, it's incredible. It's fun to play. It sounds great. It's not the most resonant thing in the world. It's kind of heavy, but it sounds really good. And there's just something about them that they are familiar yet different that I'm just so curious, and it's a really expensive thing to be curious about. Because the normal one without a 10 top's $4,300.
Don't get a 10 top. You're not a dentist, and
here's part of the thing, part of the dilemma, right? All the ones you find online are wood library, which are even kind of fancier than a 10 top. So usually the wood library ones have flamed out necks or wacky tops that are even, more wild than a AAA, quadruple A, whatever, flame top. And I'm not into that. I like the one I posted the link in the chat. It's just the normal picture from Sweetwater. And that's not it doesn't say, it's not the 10 top price.
Right.
But that looks like a 10 top to me. I super tight flame.
This is like, to me, that's as much flame as you would ever want or need right there. Would that qualify as 10 top for PRS?
Probably. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's probably a 10 top.
Okay. Well,
my chat disappeared. I don't know what's going on.
Oh no. Everyone left. Because we're shitting on PRS apparently, and everyone's like, "No, I like my PRS." No, I'm just kidding. I do really like PRSs. And I met Paul once. He was an incredibly nice guy. And the thing I like about PRS and the thing I like about Paul's philosophy is they're always striving to do better. Yeah. They're not a company like Gibson, which is like, hey, Gibson's golden age was the mid 50s through the early 60s, and we're going to try and get back to that and recreate that as best as possible. I like that. That's cool. PRS's thing is like, no, we're going to try and push the boundaries and like get the best sounding guitar always. Do they always do that? No, I think there can be kind of hit or miss, but they're incredibly well made. There's a ton of quality control and their whole build process is so tightly controlled and everything. It's great. With that said, I think you should sell the DGT, and I think you should try and find one of these that's already out there. Because if you can sell the DGT and you can get one, even if it's at the price of what you would pay for a new one, you can go ahead and play it. And while there's still a big wait time, if you don't like it, which knowing you very well may happen, then it's not a dig. It's not a dig. It's just you're very picky about guitars. And so buying a guitar sight unseen ordered, there's a good chance that you get it and you're just like, nah, I don't like it. And then since there's still a huge wait time on them, you could sell it for what you paid for it and get out from underneath it. Go get something else.
Do you think, and here's the problem I have with that is I don't want to sell the DGT and then get this and then not like it.
So sell the DGT to me. I'll hold on to it for you. And then I may or may not sell it back to you.
That's right. Well, you know what's crazy is that DGTs and everything. I mean, I think like the guitar market right now is just bananas, but I didn't even realize because I felt like DGTs, you could get them for like a couple grand, like for like a gold one or a black one, or, not crazy, not an artist or a 10 top, it's a normal, for maybe a couple grand, maybe 22 if it was newer and in really good shape. But now they're like, you rarely see them for less than 3. And I
just pulled them up.
When did that happen?
Reverb. So yours is gold, and let's see, I'm seeing
it's a 20. Hold on. It's a 2012.
Cool. Yeah. Oh my God. 3,200, 8,000. Oh, it's a private stock. One piece.
Yeah. So just the gold. I mean, this is completely, normal DGT. I've changed the pickups, and then I got rid of the treble bleed because I don't like that. But I have the stock pickups and stuff.
Man. So this would be the only PRS that I've played that wasn't the Super Eagle that I really dug and thought, hey, this is cool. I could see myself having one of these around, is a DGT. Yeah. It sounds great. It feels great. They've got the look and the whole vibe to them. I like the pickups that are in them. Although you said you put throwbacks in yours. Yeah, you were just saying that.
Yeah, and I mean, I honestly I do like the DGT pickups. I just wanted something. Really prefer unpotted pickups, and it was funny. The DGT pickups, everyone would rave about them, and when you'd see them used online, people would get silly money for them. But at first I would play the guitar with its stock pickups and go like, I don't know, and then after like 5 minutes, I was loving it. It just any of my complaints just disappeared. But I do prefer it with these just because. This is more true to me, and I think it marries what I like most about vintage style Gibsons with the action and playability of a relatively modern style guitar. I mean, it's not it's, vintage styled for sure, but like playability and construction wise, this is about as perfect as you could get. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, so here's the deal. I'm not gonna buy that from you for $4,000.
No, and I would never expect.
You'd probably do better putting it online. Here's because I just pulled them up on Reverb here.
Yeah, they're crazy.
And people are asking crazy money. So you should. What did you pay for it?
Oh, I got it in a trade and I got a really good deal on it. So
all right. So you should undercut all these people by like $500, right?
Yeah. Well, I totally could.
Yeah, you just undercut them, eat the $500. You probably still come out on top.
Yeah.
And then take that and go find let's see if there's any on Reverb here. What was it?
It's called a PRS Special Semi Hollow. I usually just search Special Semi, and it'll show up. But there's none in the burst finish. There was one in Trampus Green, which I kind of like.
Oh my God, Dragon's Breath.
Some of them are kind of cool. My internet doesn't work
this is not,
right now.
This is not cool. This one's not
I think my phone is operating just off 5G.
Yeah, you're not in Potato Vision though, so.
Yeah, but like I can't connect anything on my computer, so Wi-Fi must be down. It's really strange.
Here's the deal. I think you sell the DGT, you undercut the market, try and bring the prices down on them, and then you find one of these special semi-hollows that's not ridiculous looking, because a lot of these are oh man.
They're wild.
I'm sorry, I'm crotchety,
really
and
wild.
I know that I'm just sharing my opinions here, and I know the way I feel about these is the way a lot of people feel about like relic guitars, but
right. Well, and what's funny?
Like.
It's like you see something like a Dragon's Breath, which is like a dark to red gradient sort of burst thing, right?
Yeah.
But if you saw like a crazy bright purple sparkle Novo like a sparkle Novo sunburst thing.
Yeah, man.
You'd be like, yeah, give it. Oh, it looks so cool. It's so funny. And I think a lot of that is it's the body shape and it's that flamey ass wood.
It's the flame for me. It's not necessarily, you're right. It's not necessarily the color. It's just I have a hard time with the super flamey top guitars, man. I really do.
Yeah. I normally like, there's certain ones that I can't vibe with, but for some reason I don't know. I think they're beautiful. And I mean, I think it's undoubtedly they're beautiful. Like I don't think anyone would see a super book matched maple top guitar.
Secondhand sandwich in the chat just posted a white one. There you go. That's it.
There is a white one. I don't want that.
Yeah.
I want a McCarty burst.
Yeah, the McCarty burst is nice. I do like the McCarty burst a lot. There was a DGT I just pulled up here that had a really nice McCarty burst with the top was subtle. It was nice. You could see the wood, you could see the figuring, but it wasn't like, look at me. It's like I've been ripped apart by the sun and all this crazy shit.
Are there any guitars that are in this camp? Like, and I think because RJ uses like a Nags occasionally, and I'm trying to think of other brands. My chat can't pull up, so I can't see what people are saying. But like, what are some brands that are akin to PRS that you dig? Because like, I don't find a lot of those really appealing visually. I think that the PRS body shape is beautiful. It's an incredibly well balanced shape.
I agree with you. I do like the PRS shape a lot, the classic PRS shape. I don't really dig any of these other brands in this camp, though.
Yeah.
And because again, like the type of guitars that I like are generally, your classic Fenders and Gibsons. That's what I like, and then the Novos I like because they're a unique shape, but they have a retro, old school kind of funky feel. I like the aging that they do. I like all that stuff. Where that's sort of the antithesis of a brand like PRS. PRS is about perfection and like everything being exact and the finish being completely flawless and like these beautiful figured pieces of wood. And it's almost more of like an art piece than a guitar. Okay, this is interesting. This is why I don't like guitars like this, because to me, when you're picking these like crazy wood library whatevers and, you know, burl maple, it's like, okay, well, it's almost as if you want this to stand alone more as something to look at on your wall as an art piece and be like a conversation piece than you do as an instrument. And that, I think, is a struggle for me. I see guitars as tools, okay? And they're a tool for a job. A 335 does a job, right? The Novo Solus I have does a job. It's a cool rock and roll. Like, I'm going to take it to Germany because it's going to fit that record really great. It's going to sound great for that record. And I love the way it looks, and I love the guitar, and I love the story behind it. But at the end of the day, it's a tool for a job. And I think guitars like this, these PRSs, you know, Nags, other brands in this camp are really more, to me, they feel more like art pieces.
Yeah.
And I don't know. That's not how I see guitars.
Sure. Yeah, you know, I get that. I totally get it. And it's weird. I never thought I would want a guitar like that necessarily.
Right.
But it's just been picking at me, and I can't. It's one of those things I just can't get it off of my mind. Someone asked, I think what did it is a few weeks ago I did an AMA, and someone said, "What are you jonesing for?" And I posted that picture of that guitar off Sweetwater, and I just keep thinking about it. It's like, damn, I can't get it out of my head. So I don't know.
There's something to say for that, and again,
Yeah.
like I do. So what actually is the difference between this and a Super Eagle?
Super Eagle has more switches. Let me see.
Because I
Super
liked the
Eagles.
Super Eagle a lot, and I liked the vibe, and I liked the fact that it could do some funky, weird tones, and it, you know, had the preamp on it, and
Yeah. So it
it's
has
fun.
the preamp, and then
your name here in the chat said barbecue tops.
yeah.
Oh,
I like it.
man. That's funny. I've never thought about that before, but it is like a barbecue grill top.
I'm trying to find this. Like, it's just like paragraphs. So it has individual coil taps, which this has. An audio preamp with treble boost. Maybe that's it. It's the audio preamp, the preamp on and off, and then a treble boost on and off.
In the semi-hollow.
On the Super Eagle, because it's the Super Eagle is basically the same looking guitar, 2 knobs, 3 switches, a 5-way switch, and then 2 extra switches below the switch, but with some fancier, you know, appointments. Got abalone birds, and whatnot. But I think for, you know, all intents and purposes, the special semi-hollow is basically the same guitar. Oh, here it is. Yeah, the preamp on and off, and then treble boost on and off are the extra switches.
So the semi-hollow doesn't have a preamp.
No, it's just a normal. The switches are just. It only has 2 switches. They're just coil splits for the humbucker, I think.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, it's like a baby eagle.
Yeah, the baby eagle.
There you go. I think it's cool, man. I think, you know, get one. Please don't get one with one of these ridiculous tops on it, though, because these are crazy money. $13,000, $12,000 for that Dragon's Breath one.
It's bananas. It's crazy. It's really, really crazy.
Hey, man, you know what you should get? This one's got a damn eagle on it. Good God. Hold on. Cacao! Free bird, baby. Hell yeah. I'm going to post this in the chat. And
all right.
Chat,
My internet's back, so I can see it.
Yeah, okay. I don't have Discord pulled up on my phone here, or on my computer, so you got to drop it in here. But all right, this is a PRS Special 22 Semi-Hollow Artist Package 2020. Oh, that's not an eagle on there. That's the wood that they had to have been intentional about how they cut that top to make it look like
I've seen that
eagle's wings, man.
Yeah, I don't like that one. Yeah, that was
just
weird.
flying through the air, and just like, wow, look out.
Yeah, well, that's something that has been on my mind. So we talked about it for like half an hour.
Well, it's a fair discussion. It's I think my gut though says because there's such a premium on these right now, I think you can use that to your advantage. I think you're in the black on the DGT, and I think you sell it. Oh. You undercut some people to get it sold. Okay. Right. And then you take that money and you buy one of these that's already available. Instead of waiting, because you'll be waiting till what, June of next year?
Yeah, May, June, something like that. Your name here says just get an old telly. I can't get an old telly for, I mean, like, if I just bought, well, no. Because like just the normal special semi-hollows, $4,300. Find me an old telly that's worth a damn. That's $4,300.
Yeah, you can't.
And I will buy that. No questions asked. But like the only old tellies I would want are anything like, I don't know, 60 pre-CBS. You know?
Man, I was having this discussion with Tilly the other day about guitars, because we're talking about, buying a console, which we're gonna have to. It's like buying a car. You're gonna have to finance it. Yeah. I don't have $40,000 or $50,000 in cash to put into something. I mean, yeah, to get something, because 24 to 32 channels of a good console. If you're looking at vintage, getting one that's been serviced and taken care of, you're not going to get a vintage API for less than 80,000. A vintage Neve, oh God, they start at 250 grand.
Right.
It's
crazy.
The whole thing. Interestingly, though, speaking of vintage Neves, there is a Neve desk for sale right now for $12,500.
Oh, easy.
That the Empire Strikes Back was mixed on.
Oh, hell yes.
And then was sold to ZZ Top's manager in the early 90s. And it's in Texas. It's up for sale right now. It's so cheap, though, because it needs everything. It needs a complete rebuild, complete overhaul. It needs 30 to 40 grand worth of work. And since it's a Neve, it's going to need everything and the top line, everything. But it's literally the board that they mixed Empire Strikes Back on. And it's come up, and I've looked at it and thought, like,
man, that sort of stuff, like thinking about, like, oh, this is where Ben Burt sat to mix like the lightsaber fight. This is where someone first heard The Empire Strikes Back when they're watching the movie. Like, that's insane.
Yes.
They first heard the Imperial March.
Yes, so it's where the secret line was like heard for the first time of Luke, I am your father. Right. I was talking to Phil about this the other day, and Phil is, as much as I love Star Wars, Phil is that much plus more. And he was like, Rhett, you could buy that console. Oh, he was like, you could buy that console and you could send my bass through the same channel that John Williams' score went through for Empire Strikes Back. You could send my bass through the same channel that the secret line was heard through the first time.
It's funny. You did the Mandela effect. You said, Luke, I am your father, which Darth Vader never says. Oh, wow. He says, no, I am your father.
That's right. But Mandela effect. Yeah, the secret line. Because apparently on set, they used a different line, and it was only Mark Hamill and James Earl Jones that knew the real line, right? Yeah,
it was very, very secretive. Because like you can totally tell when you're watching that movie that it's like David Prowse, who was inside Darth Vader's suit, could have said anything. He could have said, no more hamburgers, and Luke was like, no, it's not true, it's impossible. So it's all ADR anyway. But yeah, Mark Hamill knew. So and James Earl Jones and George. So anyway,
that's up for sale. My friend Andy was like, dude, like for $12,000, just buy it, just to have it, and then hold on to it, and then years later you can restore it later. Like, just, it's like, dude, I don't have $12,000 just lying around to drop into that.
That's so cool. That's so cool. And you know what's crazy? Like, really, for a part of movie history, that's not that much.
It's not that much. And even for a Neve board, it's not that much. And if you take into account, like, even if it needs 30 grand worth of work, it's a Neve board from the 80s. I forget what I think it's a 51 something. Can't remember the actual model, but you're into a Neve board, a vintage Neve board for 40 grand, call it 50 grand all told. Like that's pretty good. And then you attach the story to it. It doesn't have enough channels though for what we need. Yeah, it's only got 16 channels.
You don't need any more than that.
Yeah.
They made one of the best sequels of all time on that.
There it is. Master Machetier in the chat just posted Neve 8108. Let's read this out for the people in the pod to hear. I'll pull it up. It's Odyssey Pro Sound. Seriously, if anyone out there, you can buy this board for $12,500 right now. It's a Neve 8108. Here's the description. Legendary Neve for sale, incredible pre's and EQ, extremely punchy and powerful. This console was bought by Bill Ham, manager for ZZ Top, from George Lucas / Skywalker Ranch back in the mid-90s. It was used to mix the Empire Strikes Back Star Wars movie. It was once a film console, but once Bill got it, he had it modified back to its original state and also recapped. Dave Howe, Austin City Limits audio director, is the guy who did all the maintenance and work on the console. The Nicam automation has not been tested, and we do not have Nicam cable. 16 out of 28 channels work. Oh, that's right. It does have enough channels. Will likely need recapping, sold as is.
Recapping's not hard.
Yeah, well, it's not like recapping an amp, dude.
Well, I know, but you have to take the whole damn thing apart. But
you have to pull each channel strip out, each module out, and then in each module, there's I don't know how many caps. I mean, it's a big job. You got to clean the whole thing. You probably have to service the patch bay. It's,
man, that's
12,500. 12,000. Okay, hold on. Let's think about this, guys. It's 12,500. Let's say it needs 30 grand. It's going to cost 30 grand to get it serviced and back up and running. So you're at what? You're at 42.5. For a 28 channel Neve desk with automation, with the story, with the history.
Man, I don't know. I'm looking up what these modules look like to see where the caps are.
Oh, the chat's going nuts.
Do it.
Do it. Do it.
That's pretty good.
Dude, yeah. I don't know.
Well, cool.
I forget why we were talking about consoles again, but there's that one.
I don't know. So do you have
a video alone on it would justify the purchase?
Yeah. Oh man. Well, do you have a shill of the week?
I do actually. Yeah. You want to go first?
Yeah, I can. So I got something. I always try to think of things that are useful, not just another pedal. And I don't think I've shared this before. Got my box here.
Oh God, hold on. Shit. Okay, I got it. Don't worry about it. I got it.
Okay. So this is something I think everyone should own. If you don't, go on Amazon or wherever you prefer to buy crap like this, Harbor Freight, and buy a set of digital calipers. They are invaluable for setting up your guitar and just measuring things. Like, I hate using rulers, not because they're hard to use. They're not. They're just not. They're just not that accurate.
I just can't read the numbers, man. They're too small.
Just having something that has a digital printout, or a digital readout, you can go from inch to millimeter, is just so handy. This one was like $20. You could switch to fractions.
God.
Like, what more do you need? Like, this has been so valuable for me, not only for like whenever I do layouts of like the enclosure work for, spacing out knobs and stuff, and just checking, height for drill things, like, spacing out jacks on the side of pedals.
Right.
But I could not have built my Proton Pack without these digital calipers. So get a set of digital calipers. They're cheap.
When are you gonna shill the Proton Pack, by the way?
The Proton Pack should be done this weekend.
Okay, I need your help, by the way, on that. Tilly has told me that because this is our first Halloween in this neighborhood and there's a lot of young kids in this neighborhood that we have to dress up and like do it right. And I haven't dressed up for Halloween since I was like 15.
Well,
so
you know what really sucks?
I need an easy costume that's something that I'm not going to spend $10,000 on and 2 years of my life putting together, you know.
Well,
good character, something that'll work. Here's
the thing, right? So last year for Halloween, I wore or not last year before last, because last year there was no Halloween. I wore just my Ghostbuster jumpsuit,
right?
My uniform, and all the kids that came to the door, only like of the hundreds of kids, our neighborhood's just bananas. Only a few of them knew what I was, and most of them, they were like, "Hey, you're from that old movie, right?" So, you know, whatever you think you would be fun and cool that somebody would recognize, they won't. So just be whatever.
Just go obscure.
Yeah, you know, I mean, you can be the dude. That's easy. You know, I don't know. Like,
I don't have the hair for the dude though.
You get a wig. But what's really funny is I've worked all this time on my proton pack and even like upgrading my uniform. I got the film accurate patch and some more stuff for my belt. Like I got the walkie-talkie holster, which are rare as hen's teeth, for my Ghostbuster uniform. And
that
Graham
might be the
says,
most southern shit I've ever heard you say about
yeah. Graham decided he wanted to be Mario, and Morgan bought a Princess Peach outfit, and then I'm Luigi. So I will put on my Ghostbuster uniform, but I'm not for Halloween night. I have to be Luigi.
Oh man! All right. Well, I don't know. Chat and comments tell me what I should be for Halloween. So all right. Here's my shill.
Yes.
This is a dual DI box system here from Pinstripe Pedals. I've had this for a few years now. TXRX. Okay. And essentially what this system allows you to do is be in one room with your pedal board and your guitar and have your amp in a completely other room, hundreds of feet away even. What it does, this send box, you plug the output of your pedal board, your guitar, whatever, into this send box, into the input section there. Sorry, that's the output. But into that input section there, you power it up with 9 volts. It's got a Jensen transformer in it, and you plug an XLR cable into that XLR output there, and you run the other end of your XLR cable to the receive box, where you then convert the XLR back into 1/4 inch down here, and it goes into the input of your amp. So what it allows you to do is put your amp really, really far away in another room and another part of the house even, and not have signal loss or degradation, because it's converting your guitar signal into a balanced line over XLR and driving it long distance so you don't have tone suck. So I used it on my video earlier this week I made about reamping, where I put the amps in the room next door. I don't have a 1/4 inch cable long enough to reach, and even if I did, I probably wouldn't use it because that's such a long cable run. You would lose quite a bit of top end in your signal. So I use these, and they're great. This is a really good solution. Like if you got you want to build a little ISO booth in a closet somewhere, a different part of the house that's not going to bug people, or you're recording a lot, you can get these, send your signal as long as an XLR will go, basically. And
right. How much are those things?
I don't know. They did send these to me. So full disclosure, I got these for free about 2 years ago, and I've used them quite a bit on the channel without actually ever really talking about them, but they're really useful for that. Like, I need my amp to be over there and out of the way.
Who makes it?
Just, Pinstripe pedals. They also do a really cool like stereo DI that's designed for like modelers, like the HX Stomp and stuff. It's got a transformer in it and everything.
So it's $300 for the set.
Yeah. So another option would be like Radial makes the SGI, the studio guitar interface. It's same kind of thing. So
cool.
Yeah.
Neat.
I should be 1970s Hartley Peavy.
You'd have to have a guitar, because otherwise you just look like
I'd look like a
you
dude
with the 70s
70s
shirt on.
If I had his hair, I kind of do look like him a little bit.
A little bit.
His beard's thicker.
Yeah.
and he's got the wispy 70s hair. But my God.
Man. Your name here says get a T60 for $600 and do it. I don't think you can find a PVT60 for $600 anymore.
Yeah, not with these prices. Not in today's market.
These COVID prices.
Oh my God,
it's crazy.
Wow. Look out.
Oh wait, yeah, you can.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Well,
forget what you
1,000,
said.
900, 850. I mean, they're up there.
What if I was just a disgruntled front of house guy, and I just screamed at kids, like had a lit cigarette hanging out of my mouth, and I was like miking up. Just have a guitar cab out front, and I'm like miking it up with a cigarette hanging out of my mouth.
You just need to get on, I don't know, TikTok and be a TikTok person and just like dress up like somebody that does like one of those dancing people.
God, Jesus Christ!
I'm so old.
Dude, yeah. That's a pretty boomer statement of you right there.
I
Feel like one of those TikTok people, that do the dancing,
You can be the guy that goes, that guy.
Jesus Christ. Okay, great. All right.
I don't
Well, there you
know.
go, everyone. That's it. It was a long episode.
It was
115
long.
minutes. Yeah.
115 minutes?
An hour and 15 minutes.
Oh, whew. We're approaching Dune runtime. Dune tomorrow for us. I don't know about for you guys. Anyway.
Dune tomorrow. Oh, the new Dune comes out tomorrow?
Yeah, bro.
Dude, I don't keep up with stuff like movies.
I don't either. I'm just excited about Ghostbusters. So,
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for
All
watching,
right.
guys.
See y'all.
Bye.